We're live.
Oh, a cough came just at the moment we went live. Hi guys.
Hello everyone.
We've just had a moth flying around. So if a moth comes and attacks us, you'll know why. Because
Attacks us. It's this one.
there's one. Trouble is, we've got a big lamp here because it's quite dark and dingy in my office, and it's attracting this moth, but it's just vanished. Monty's having a go about something. Can you hear?
Yeah, Ellen's out there now. I don't know.
Anyway, sorry about that. Hi guys, welcome to our regular Sunday show. I'm Nick, and this is Andrea, my wife.
Indeed.
We
You didn't know that already?
We buy. Well, I don't know. We might have some new people watching. You never know.
What we might do.
Yeah, and we are full-time resellers. We buy and sell stuff online, be it eBay or Amazon. Well, that's pretty much it for us.
Yeah.
So yeah, and we come on here on Sunday and chat about anything to do with reselling. So that's the plan. You may have seen I did put a title in. We're going to talk a bit about customer service, the good and the bad and the ugly, all sides of it. What we've experienced as buyers, as opposed to us and what we offer. And we're just going to see what comes up. And you guys, if you've got any questions or experiences yourself when we get into that, just pop them in the side chat and we'll try and be a bit more attentive to the side chat today. That's our mission today.
Yeah.
It's really hard to do.
Well, we do try to be every week, to be fair. But
yeah,
you know, when we're chatting and we've got things to say, it's difficult to keep up with it because it moves really quick.
Yeah. And now these chats, thankfully, and we love it, the fact that they're popular, but now they're so popular, it really is hard to keep up with the chat. So do forgive us if we miss things. Speaking of which, let me scroll back and see who we had in first. It was Peter. I wanted to say another thank you to Peter. He's been buying stuff off our store. I hope everything's turned up. I'm losing track of the amount of gear you bought off us recently. So thank you so much for that, Peter. And then Karin, who was next in, I was chatting to her on the other video. I released a video like a daily vlog thing.
Yeah.
Not that we're doing daily vlogs.
Vlog. You keep calling them that, but
it was a vlog of a day.
A day. Yeah. Not
See?
a day vlog, but yeah.
It was a day.
A day vlog.
It was a vlog. It was a vlog.
Not a night vlog. A day vlog.
And she noticed these. I think they were part of what I was listing, and asked if I still had them. And she's gone through and bought them off the listing. They're really cool, actually. These will be sent out to you tomorrow, Karin.
Are they Christmassy?
Christmas set, yeah.
Oh, lovely.
I don't really think they've been used. I had a look.
Yeah.
Maybe one or two have been used once, but basically they're new.
Very nice.
So yeah, thanks for that, Karin. They will be shipped out on Monday. Well, tomorrow. Yeah, let me just have a look in the chat. Oh, Karin says, yeah, thanks for the stamps. Yeah, they will be shipped off ASAP. So lots of people popping in. Lady Lolly, is that a new name? I don't remember seeing Lady Lolly before.
I have seen Lady Lolly's name pop up in places.
Okay, cool. Hi, Lucy. Beth, the movie fan. Hi there. That's a new name, isn't it, to our chats? I don't remember seeing. Don't know. Right, there's Adam. Lots of people popping in. Val, Dr. Doodle Doo, Indie Chick. Okay, I'm going to scroll to the end of the chat so we can see it as it comes in. Oh my God, if I can find the end. There's a quick question there. The Hillsman 25 question. I picked up 3 PG Tips Grommet mugs today. Who remembers them? We remember them. I certainly do.
I mean, Wallace and Gromit were really big in the 90s, weren't they?
When we started reselling, we picked their stuff up every week, and there was a real collector's market, but it's really dwindled now.
It's dropped off a lot now.
Yeah. I remember on one of those antique shows, they were saying that Wallace and Gromit was a collectible of the future. Like they were thinking forwards like 10, 20 years. Not yet.
No.
Not big money, certainly.
No. So we've got someone called Nobi Guna. Says, hi guys, I'm new to reselling and came across your videos. I watch and listen at work all day and evening. Knowledge is key. Thank you for all the advice and letting me learn from your pickups. Well, thank you. Thank you for joining us today, and thank you for your comment.
Yeah, that's great. That's what it's all about, really. Just sharing what we do, and if it happens to help people, it's an added bonus.
Yeah,
so yeah,
absolutely.
Fantastic. Thanks for that. God, it's moving on fast.
Paul Calvert said that Beth is his other half.
Oh, cool. Fantastic. Mix Orbic. Is that how you say that?
Maybe.
Maybe. Hi there. It says evening. Started reselling earlier this year and just came across your channel. Any tips with dealing with competition with eBay? What strategy would you suggest? I say whatever you're selling, it comes down to three things. Is there demand for it? Have you got it at the right price? And then beyond that,
great pictures, just describe it well.
The third thing that you can control is your listing.
Yeah.
Right keywords, excellent picture. But essentially, if you've got an item that's in demand at the right price, it should sell.
Yeah.
So the only bit you can really control beyond that is writing a quality listing.
I think personally, I think the look of the listing makes it stand out. If you've got two things, and one is it's got a title that says t-shirt and one has got a title that describes exactly what the t-shirt is and shows a nice picture, I'm going to buy the other one. I'm going to buy the one that's nicely described and got a nice photo. So
yeah, but keywords are really important.
Yeah.
And sometimes doing things a little bit differently, maybe even using a different category to catch people that are browsing in a different way, using a keyword nobody else is using, so you catch those searches that other people aren't catching.
Specifics are really important as well.
Use all the tools that eBay gives you, essentially. Right. Okay. We do have a topic, as we said at the beginning. If you've just joined us, we've currently got 128 viewers, which is fantastic. We want to talk a bit about customer service in general, and how, you know, we as customers, we buy a lot of stuff on eBay, as I'm sure many of you do as well, and we often feel we don't get the best customer service.
No, we don't.
We've had a few bad experiences, but this topic came up because this morning you were responding to one of our customers who you explain what.
Well, we sold Ellen got an iPhone, a new to her iPhone that we actually bought in CEX for her birthday. So we decided we'd sell her iPhone, which is an iPhone 5C, just to sort of cash in on that. And you know, it's arrived, it's lovely. But this morning, I woke up to several messages, quite a lot of messages from the person who bought it saying, can you please send me your Apple ID? It's locked to your iCloud. I bought this for my son's birthday, so I assume it was his birthday today, and they've opened it and not been able to use it. And just a stream of the same message written in a different way saying, I need your Apple ID. Please reply to me. I need your Apple ID. And I thought, firstly, it's Sunday. And secondly, you know, even if you've messaged once and you haven't had a reply, surely you would just assume the person hasn't seen that message and they will actually get back to you when they've read the message. And that messaging the same message over and over and over again is not going to make that person reply to you any quicker.
No.
And she was also messaging through different items as well, as if she was thinking that I wasn't replying because it was about the phone. So she was like sending messages through other items as well. And I just woke up and I was like, oh my goodness, what is going on here?
The point is, we have no problem with the message, and yet we forgot to detach it from our iCloud, however you do that. But the point is, and the point we wanted to bring this conversation up was that we've seen a shift in what customer expectations, particularly on eBay, where they expect an instant answer. People expect you as a seller on eBay to answer you that message that came in Sunday morning. And when they don't get that instant customer service response, they get annoyed. And in this case, fired another one out, and then another one, and then another one, until we had, like, I don't know, 7 or 8, you know, on a Sunday morning. But people expect that level. And
it's because we've talked about this before, but when you're selling on the internet, because the internet is open 24/7, they imagine that the person that has sold it and runs that business is going to be online 24/7. That doesn't happen.
Which just isn't possible. I mean,
we have lives. We sleep sometimes.
I mean, we've all done it where, I don't know, you happen to be still up at 2 in the morning and a message comes in and you reply straight away, and they receive that incredible level of customer service. But I think the trouble is, as a buyer, you get into that expectation that you can fire off a message to an eBay seller and you expect an instant answer.
And
it's just not possible.
as sellers with our mobile phones on us all the time, I mean, it is tempting to look at our eBay all the time. So, you know, we weren't working today, but I did. I got my breakfast, I sat down, and I opened my eBay app to have a look to see what was going on.
I think we actually provided fantastic customer service. On a Sunday, we solved the issue for them. We did what we needed to do at our end to make the iPhone usable for them on their iCloud. Yeah. And it was all solved, all within the same day on a Sunday, which we don't technically work. Sometimes we go sourcing, but we try not to work much on a Sunday.
Yeah.
But this customer was, you know, just answer me, like, no, just
I know, just
continue.
on and on and on.
So yeah, so that was interesting, and that's what got us thinking about the different levels of customer expectation with customer service. And then it got me, when we went for a long walk today, we're still in training for our marathon, and we were talking about this, and I said, what irks me most when it comes to customer service, because I buy a lot on eBay, is I don't very often get the level of service that I think I provide when I buy on eBay. And we thought of a few examples. One recently, I bought some stuff to resell, but that's beside the point, from another buyer. And first off, they shipped the items out and they forgot to ship the software. It was some gaming stuff. They forgot to ship the software with these bits of hardware that I bought.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. So I messaged them once and left it 24 hours, didn't get a response. Messaged them again, left it again, didn't get anything. I think it was 3 or 4 days after I'd first messaged, they finally came back and said, oh, right, okay, I'll send those out. I waited about another 10 days to receive the rest of this order that I had placed with them. Yeah. When I got the software, it was nothing as described. Missing stuff, scratched to bits, manuals weren't there. And I messaged them and I said, this is not as you described it. It's not fit for the purpose that I have. I didn't tell them I wanted to resell it. I just said, it's not fit for purpose. What can you do? And they didn't respond again for days and days and days. And I had to message and message again, not as your customer did. No. You know, 5 minutes later, 10 minutes later. This was leaving 24, 48 hours in between messages. And then eventually they just did a like one line response which said, return it all. Return it all then.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, great. Yeah, thanks. And that was it. So I sent everything back to them. But yeah, I was just appalling level of service or lack of.
Completely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I bought a pair of walking boots for Ellen, and I might have actually said this before, but I'll say it again because we're on this subject. Yeah, I bought this pair of walking boots, and it was a business seller, and they didn't fit her. We ended up getting a different pair. So I wanted to return them. They were brand new. She only just tried them on. And they said, yes, but I don't want to go through the returns on eBay because I want you to pay all the postage. And I don't want to lose my postage. And I replied and said, well, as a business seller myself, I know that you have to refund my original postage. I understand I have to pay return postage because it's obviously change of mind. There's nothing wrong with them. But you do have to, by eBay policies, refund my original postage. And it was a back and forth for a while. They weren't very receptive to that. They didn't want to do it. So I rang eBay and I told them, and they said, no, he has to do it that way. So I then said again, I've spoken to eBay, and they say that you have to go through the returns on eBay and that you have to refund my original postage. And eventually he accepted my return, but it was really difficult and quite stressful, and it shouldn't have been that way. I should have been able to just say, these don't fit. Can I return them? Yes, you can. Pop them in a box and send them off. You know, it should have been like that. And it wasn't. It was a difficult, stressful situation.
Yeah. I just wanted to dip in the chat and see some of the responses from what we were just saying. Philomena says, for me, customer service is paramount. I treat customers as if I had a bricks and mortar shop. Actually, we're going to come on to the difference, because we've obviously experienced both for many years now. Everything from packing the item to dealing with concerns, it can be difficult. Yeah, it can be difficult, and it can be as we were just saying, a job that eats into your downtime, because the internet is 24/7.
Yeah, well, it does, definitely does.
Yeah.
It is a 7-day-a-week job, really.
I saw Graham mentioned there. He said, I thought Nick had great customer service for the t-shirt in his listing video earlier. Yeah, that was interesting, because I sold that Shed 7 t-shirt that I showed in the vlog video. And then he messaged me and he said, I'm going to see them on Friday. You know, is there any way I can make sure I get it by then? And I thought I wasn't going to ship at that point. I wasn't going to ship out until the next day. And I just thought it should get there with the second class postage that he's paid for, that's going to go tomorrow. But I want to make sure. So I drove to the post office with that one item and shipped it out first class, and he got it the very next day.
Yeah.
And he messaged, and he was blown away that it got there within 24 hours.
Yeah.
And that's the point. That's what we're talking about. That's what Philomena's saying. That
and the same thing with that Ralph Lauren coat. He wanted it by Wednesday. He lived in Sweden, and he bought it on the Sunday. And we were like, okay, how are we going to make this happen? But we did. We made it happen. And I assume he got it. Well, it does say the tracking shows that it's arrived in the country. So I've not heard it. He hasn't.
We haven't heard back, have we?
No, I haven't heard he hasn't received it, but the tracking does show it arrived in Sweden. So
in time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So yeah. But we went out of our way for that, didn't we? Because we didn't, all we had on it was GSP. So we went and added extra postage and all of that business.
Yeah, they had to pay for that level of service to an extent, because it cost them 60 odd pounds just to get it. But we had to also jump through hoops to make all of that happen. Yeah. Okay, let me just scroll down. Oh, there we go, it jumped. Oh, Darren's popped in. Hi, Darren, and Kath is in there. Reseller Mum, lots of people. Ben Smith. Let me see if we've got any more comments on this before we move on. What have I missed up here?
Something about blurriness. I don't know. That's me when I haven't got my glasses on.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just reading. There's so much coming in.
Well, Yola, who's Reseller Mum, says, I also think how you compose your reply is important. I have a real hatred for shorthand, text speak and emojis from any business that I speak with online. Yeah, she says maybe just me. No, not just you at all. I feel the same way.
We try and write it as if you're writing a letter, and we sign off with our name. I mean, in that instant where I had to send back those items I'd bought to resell, it was just one line: send it back. No name, no response. No, I'm really sorry you've had these issues.
It's rude, wasn't it? It's rude.
Yeah, and it really put my back up. You know, everything that went wrong with that was down to them. Ooh, yeah, nearly knocked my drink over. And there was never any kind of, I'm sorry you've had this experience, what can we do to make it better? I had to push at every point to get them to respond to me and say, okay, send it back. But yeah, you're right. And I think also what goes along with that, Reseller Mum, is not rising to when people get arsy with you. We've all had it where people press your buttons and they're being outrageous, they're demanding stuff, they're being offensive quite often.
And we rage at each other, and then we write this very, really lovely, polite reply.
Andrew, you'll come in here, the door will swing open. It's like, oh my God, read this. And I'm like, okay, deep breaths, think about it, swear at me, and then go away and compose a nice.
Yeah, and then it's a very polite, business-like reply.
Yes, I'm really sorry you feel like that. Please open a return case. Or can you provide a photograph to show the smashed item you're claiming, or whatever it is? Yeah. And remember, with dealing with customers through eBay, messages that are through the eBay system, they're kept, and eBay can look back at those. So if something escalates and it shows you being just as offensive or unreasonable back, eBay aren't going to be so helpful. Is how I always think about it. If I need a reason to be calm and collected, I think, yeah, eBay's going to see these messages if we need them to look into it. So it pays to just take your time and step back and go, okay, I'm not going to go to your level. I'm going to deal with this professionally. So yeah, it's a really good point.
Yeah.
There's a thing that Pivo Pro Sim, sorry if I've ruined your name, says you need to talk about how lots of buyers are now on phones and they don't read the descriptions and just look at the photos. Yeah, I mean, eBay and how people buy stuff online is changing for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and quite often they don't read the whole description.
Yeah, but if you have put something in the description and there is an issue and that the buyer just hasn't read it, and then you ring eBay, they will see that you've written that in your description. So if they're claiming it's not as described or whatever, you've put it in your description. It's not your fault that they haven't read it. It's there.
Yeah.
And eBay will say, well, yeah, you have described it that way. So they'll most likely be on your side.
Yeah, I can't remember the details, but I was reading something recently on Facebook where somebody sold some sort of electronic item, not working, sold as spares or repair. Customer had just not acknowledged that, bought it, and then wanted their money back because it didn't work. How frustrating is that? But yeah, you're totally right. And use that condition box to put all of that in. I put just as much information in there as I do in the description these days. I pretty much fill that with all the relevant things that the customer needs to read if they're hopefully going to read that, and then copy that into the main description, which on the phone you have to click a button to go through to these days. It doesn't even come up, does it?
No.
And people do buy just with their eyes on the pictures pretty much. And if you've got a broken item, the pictures won't necessarily tell that story, will they?
No, he won't do at all.
Yeah,
which is again why item specifics are really important now, to put as much detail as you can. I put all of my measurements in my item specifics now, just in case.
And cram as much as you can the title, I guess, as well. In capitals, not working if you're selling something.
And in the condition box that comes up just underneath the title.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying.
Yeah,
I put loads of info in there, much as I can. You can cram tons in that, and some people really do go for it. Paul Calvert, I had somebody who wrote to me about my item he received, and it was F this and F that, reported him to eBay. Yeah, I would. Yeah, we don't have to put up with that. And we shouldn't have to put up with that.
It's like you go in shops these days and they have little notices that say, abuse to our staff is not tolerated or whatever. And you think that's just so sad. But then we've had it ourselves many times.
I lost count of how many times I was swore at when I had the gaming shop.
Yeah.
Threatened. There was one time, I can't remember what the issue was. It was always to do with me buying people's stock, not buying people's stock, or offering something they weren't happy with. The choice was theirs, take it or leave it. But one time the guy said, I'm going to be waiting outside the door when you close. Do you remember this? And yeah, it was quite concerning, to say the least.
Yeah, because it was winter as well, so it was dark when we left. Yeah.
He wasn't there when I locked up, but that's not the point. I worried about it for most of the day.
He was the same guy that ended up being arrested in our shop because he came in, and are you talking about the big guy? And
no, different guy. I know who you mean though.
Yeah, there was a guy that he was claiming that the disc was scratched and he wanted a different one, and you said, well, let me show you, this is what it looks like, and you took one off the shelf and you showed him this new game or whatever, and he just snatched it off you and went to run out the shop. And he was stopped, and I rang the police. My heart was doing this, and the police came and arrested him in the shop.
Yeah. He was a troublemaker the whole time we had our shop. And then, as Andrew sort of explained, he came back. It was a FIFA game. He came back with FIFA, whatever it would have been then.
Oh yeah, he was saying he sold it to me like this.
Yeah, he had a disc that looked like he'd run up the road, pushing it on the floor and scratched the hell of it. And he said, "This doesn't run. Here's my receipt. I want another one."
Yeah.
I said, there's no way on earth I sold you that like that.
Yeah, we were so fussy
I said,
what we bought in.
we're super fussy what we buy in, and B, we've got a disc repair machine out the back. If
Yeah.
anything's damaged, we'll put it through that. And he said, no, this is what I bought. Give me my money back. I know my rights. He was really a big guy as well.
Oh, really big guy.
And he started
looking.
kicking off. And I was just, no, there is no way. I'm not taking it back. You're not. And he says, I know my rights. Here's my receipt. Shop full of people shouting his head off at me.
But then he said, let me show you what the discs look like that we sell.
Just to give you an example, because FIFA, you have loads in secondhand. I grabbed a wad of them from the shelf and I said, let's have a look what my discs look like. Look, mint like new, mint like you. Look, all clean. And at that point, he grabbed one and then thanks so much, like threw the one at me and tried to run off.
Yeah, but he was stopped. So.
But yeah, I think a customer stopped him and then Andrew called the police and he got arrested. And we were like, bye now. And at that point, do you remember when the police came and picked him up? They said, do you want this guy to be banned from your premises? And I said, yes, please. And they said, okay, we'll make a note of that. If he comes in again, just call us. So, and they formally said that to him there and then. They said, you're not to come back in this shop. And these guys are within their rights to call us and you'll be arrested if you come back in here. And we were like,
but again, that was a scary thing because he was a big bloke. You could have, approached us on the street.
I've seen him many times since. Anyway, how did we get onto that?
I don't know.
We actually did want to move on to retail. And because we were discussing this, as I said before, when we went out walking about...
No, scroll down.
Yeah, sorry, let me scroll down.
Just so I can see what's coming through.
Yeah, we wanted to talk a bit about the differences and how, from my point of view, I think the majority of people don't like to take things back to bricks and mortar stores. I'm fine with it. Andrew's totally different. You don't like to take things back to a store. But why is that?
I don't know. Because I always just feel a bit uncomfortable, or I think they won't believe me, or I don't know.
But it's because you have to stand in front of a person and explain yourself and feel uncomfortable. I mean, I'm fine with it, but most of the general public don't like that face-to-face confrontation in a bricks and mortar store when you have an issue, whether it's a genuine one or whether you're being a bit of an idiot about it and trying to return something you shouldn't. You still got that sort of barrier of human contact. And what I think and what we all experience online is that human contact has been taken away. And I think a much, much higher percentage will happily chance their arm at a return or to try and get a refund out of somebody online than they would in bricks and mortar.
Yeah, well, it's easy enough just to press buttons, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you don't see that person face to face. So you don't have to think about that person as a human being.
Yeah.
So you just press the buttons and then you send it back.
And I think eBay and even more so Amazon have made it so click button. You can virtually just press a button and your return process has begun. And then it's all on us as the seller to resolve it somehow. They've made it, it's difficult because as a platform, we're talking about customer service. As a platform, they want the buyer to be happy and they want the buyer to enjoy the whole service of using their platform. So they want to make it easy and they want to make it fluid going through a return process. And we all have to return stuff now and again. But I think it's just made it so click button, tick box easy. Everyone's having a go now, even when it's not necessarily genuine. Yeah.
But we also have to say that the majority are genuine. It's just, you get the odd one that kind of, it does overshadow it sometimes. But you have to remember that, like I was just telling you that Karen had a thread on the chat about remembering the positives, because we sometimes do. It sticks in your head when you have a bad experience.
Of course.
And it's good to remember how many good experiences we have and how many customers are great and and how many great sales we have that go off without a hitch.
Yeah, and it's so nice when a customer takes the time to message you. I started really hating that message sound on my phone because most of the time it's a problem. But like the guy with the Shed 7 t-shirt, he took the time to message me and say, thank you so much. It arrived within 24 hours. Can't thank you enough, blah, blah, blah. But then I shared this on the chat group as well, that a guy in America we sent a coat to about a month back, he sent us a message including a picture of him wearing it.
And even a picture of his horse with his funky
yeah,
headgear on.
He said, thank you so much for the coat. It's better than condition than I expected. It's like new. It fits perfectly. I'm looking forward to many years of wearing it. And I replied saying, we thank you so much. That means so much to us to get a message like that, because, you know, I didn't go into detail, but normally they're negative.
Of him wearing it was fantastic, because, you know, it was on my rail for so long, and you know, sat behind me in my office, and there's a picture of a man in America wearing it. It's just, you know, it blows your mind sometimes.
And then because I replied to him and said, thank you so much for the message, he then messaged again with a picture of his horse, and he said, my mule likes it as well, which all got a bit bizarre, but yeah, it was fantastic. It was really fantastic to hear. So I think we can all learn from that, actually. And if you do have positive experience on eBay, send them a message and thank them.
Dave says, so your rail is now fixed. No, different rail. No, this is just a freestanding rail, but actually the freestanding rail now does this.
You've got too much stuff on your rails.
It's because I'm putting my coats on there and they're really heavy and they're just leaning now. Yeah.
Okay, let's oh, Sue's just had a ka-ching. Well done, Sue.
Oh, cool.
And Lisa made £150 at the car boot sale this morning.
Fantastic.
I need to do one. I was going to do one this morning, but it's cold.
Yeah, you didn't fancy getting up.
Didn't fancy getting up, really. Yeah. Okay.
Especially as we were still up at like 1:30, and he said, oh, I don't think I'll get up now.
Darren's just messaged. He said, moral here, people. Offer great customer service and receive pictures of horses. Win-win. Well, exactly.
It was a very cute horse, I have to say.
Yeah. Hopefully that will stick with you guys. I mean, how happy that made us to receive that picture. You don't have to send a picture, obviously, every time. But if you do receive quality customer service through eBay, just send a message. It makes the world of difference. One thing I want to move on to then, actually, is it was going to be the last thing we talked about, but it kind of goes into that now. This guy knew that we were a small business. You know, I think we had one of our cards in, which are like that. Andrea had these made up, and it says, you're not going to be able to read it very well.
I've shared a picture of it on Instagram and our Facebook page.
Thank you for supporting our family business. That's not focusing or showing. Then it's just got a link to our eBay, and it says Andrea and Nick on it. So it makes it personal. The person knows it's come from a small family business. We're not some huge international conglomerate.
Yeah.
Our names are on there, and it makes it personal. And I think what that does is it encourages repeat custom. It makes them feel connected to the people that have sold it, and it makes them realize we're a small business. So if they were thinking along the lines of, maybe I'll try and get a partial refund just for the fun of it, or I might, you know, try and get my money back or claim it hasn't turned up, I think that goes a long way to making people think, okay, I'm not going to stitch these guys up.
Yeah, I think that it, you know, if somebody's got a conscience, it would make them certainly double think that. Double think, that's not even a
think twice.
Think twice.
Double think. I like that. Let's start using that.
It's the same.
But yeah, I think it's one thing we can do to differentiate ourselves from the big businesses that are on eBay. You know, the likes of Argos are selling on there, you know, you name it. Everyone's selling through eBay. And, you know, proclaiming to the world that you're a small business, you're a small family. I'm going to start putting that thank you for supporting our family business in our description.
Yeah, you were talking about that today. Just
to make people think, oh, okay, this is a small family firm. And hopefully it will just make them, I don't know, just know that we're a small family firm.
I think it just changes the way you think about something. It's just, it changes the perspective on how you look at that item or the purchase.
Yeah, I think so. And also, I would rather buy from a one-man band or a small family business than I would a big business, that because I can relate to them and I understand how tough it is to run your own business. I think that would be something great that eBay could implement. you know, somehow you could have a little banner up that says small business, or you know, or some, I don't know how they could do it, because that would be great to make us stand out from the rest and say, hi, we're a small family business, support us. So yeah, I don't know, thought it's worth mentioning.
Yeah, certainly.
And do you want to dip in the chat again?
Can do. Twin Red Dragons just said, Andrea, what size bags do you put your clothes in? Do you find any moisture collecting the bags? The bags I've got at the moment are 11 by 14 inches. Yeah, I don't find any moisture collecting the bags. I haven't come across that.
You may do if they got warm or if they were in sunlight.
Yeah, they're not. They're all in drawers. So.
Yeah, you keep them out of the light and out of the warmth. So, Barry says, I'd be happy if they left positive feedback with a nice message. Not many people leave feedback now. It's true, and that's a shame. You know, not many buyers take the time. It's even worse on Amazon.
Yeah, well, we don't know. Purchases that we make.
Not on Amazon. eBay we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, the feedback system feels a bit broken to me these days, to be perfectly honest. Not sure how useful it is anymore.
Peter Ray says, great cards, Nick and Andrea. Has now got 2 on my cork boards. Cheers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you'll have a little collection at the rate you're going. Yeah. Are these two drunk tonight? Words all over the place. No,
unfortunately not.
we did briefly pop in the pub.
We didn't. Well, we did, but just use the loo. We didn't actually have a drink.
We went on a walk. Ellen came with us as well. We did only, I don't know, 3 or 4 miles.
I did suggest having a drink. I thought that might be a nice idea, but you know, you didn't like the idea, so we just carried on.
We had a chat to do, and we had to get home. But yeah, we popped in the pub just to warm up and use their loo, which was cheeky. Okay.
Yeah.
Tom McNamee says, I sell mugs and send a handwritten letter with every order, even at Christmas. Also a smiley sticker on the postage label and note. Well, there you go. So that's going that extra mile. And it does make the buyer feel connected to you, I guess, in some way. That's cool. Who's that says, hello, Nick and Andrea? Veta Fellow, hi there.
Aaliyah, oh, you just skipped by it.
Sorry, when we're going down.
Aaliyah H says that Amazon, I had to individually message everyone on my sold listings, been selling for 4 months and only received 1 feedback.
Yeah, we've got tiny feedback on Amazon and we've sold so much. Frustratingly, I think I shared this before, when we had our gaming shop, we sold way more on Amazon than we did on eBay because it was quick and easy, and we were dealing in media products, and we got our feedback up into the thousands on Amazon. But then when we went through the process of closing that business down, I just kind of wanted to move on, and I closed that account because in my mind I associated it with the shop and I just wanted to move on, and we lost that feedback, which was frustrating. We're only on, like, I don't know what we're on now, less than 100 for the thousands we've sold on the new account.
Wow.
Yeah, but not many people bother with Amazon feedback.
No.
And when they do, quite often they review the product and give you negative because they didn't like the album they've bought off you or something. It's like,
it's quite
don't. Yeah.
Quite amusing.
Okay, right. Let me get to the end, down to the bottom. Super K, I got a positive feedback on Amazon. Well done. Saying, I hate leaving feedback. Stop asking me.
Oh.
Fair enough. Well, at least you got a positive. It doesn't matter what it says. Fantastic. Okay. I've just been asked by Chris Stuppus, the gamer, what are your opinions on drop shipping? I get asked this a lot. It's not something we've ever got involved in.
No.
So my opinions are irrelevant because I've never done it. Okay, what else were we going to cover that? Yeah, the other side of this is where we wanted to touch on a little bit about where eBay is trying to take us all with the customer service they want us to provide and the sort of platform that eBay wants to become. So what are your thoughts on where they're going with it?
Put me on the spot.
I can't talk all the time.
I know, but you're like, oh, what are your thoughts on it? I don't know. I don't really use that app.
You don't use eBay?
No, say the question again.
What are your thoughts on what eBay?
Where eBay wants to take us?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Rewind.
Rewind.
We can't edit this out. It's live.
You start.
Well, I think they're trying to get us to go to a point where it's free returns.
What I should really do is actually listen to what you say and not read the chat.
That's what happened.
What's happening?
That's what happened there. Andrew has this amazing way of just tuning me out completely. You know, I could have said, "Oh, I think you're on fire, love. Do you want to go and get some water?" I feel
like I'm on fire. I suddenly got quite flashed.
Tunes me out completely.
I did. I completely tuned you out. Then you were like, "What are your thoughts on it?" I was like, "I don't know."
I don't know what you said. What's the question? Yeah, the point is eBay, as we've all seen over the last few years, they've been implementing things to make us provide the sort of customer service they want us to. So they're trying to push us to do free shipping. They're trying to push us to have like long return windows. They're trying to push us to now have free returns.
Yeah.
And what they're trying to do is make us all act like big business, like your Argos and your Amazon. And to have free returns, I mean, I understand that in the clothing world, so you've got New Look and you've got Very and all the big firms here in the UK. You can buy 10 dresses.
It's ASOS mainly, isn't it?
ASOS, yeah.
ASOS have started it.
That they've kind of set the bar. And we know people, you know, that you don't buy one dress or one pair of jeans, you buy 3 and keep the one that fits and return the others. And I think what eBay is trying to do is enforce that sort of big business mentality where they're happy to foot the bill for that because they're turning over millions and they're happy to offset X amount of money to cover those returns. But when you deal with a small business where, you know, everything's smaller, the amount of money you're turning over, the amount of orders you're getting, swallowing those free returns is a step too far. And I think they're missing the point with small businesses.
Yeah, they totally are. Because we can't afford really to do those things. We can't afford to swallow that amount of costs when people return things for free when they don't fit, or, you know, I mean, unfortunately we do get people telling us that things aren't described properly or they're damaged or whatever just to get a free return when they're completely lying. But, you know, for the most part, I don't want to go down that route because at the moment, you know, we're not at a level where we can actually swallow those costs, whereas, you know, we can just pay out.
Well, the thing is, I don't think the payoff, which I think the way eBay sees it, that the payoff is more orders. If you offer all of these shining customer service options that they want you to, you're going to get more orders. And with what we sell, which is quite often, you know, one-off things or an assortment of all sorts of things, collectibles and stuff like that, I don't think so. I don't think I'm going to see my numbers go up. And if you go to somebody who's into antiques and real one-off unique items, you're not going to sell more because you've got free returns.
No, or free postage. I'm totally not sold on the whole free postage.
Well, that's a debate that will go on
until
the end of time.
There are pros and cons to it, definitely. I mean, yeah. We've covered it in depth, but
let's see if people have got any opinions. Let me know what you think about where you think eBay is trying to go and what your opinions are. Megapic sale, the free returns option sucks. We can't all afford that. I can't anyway. Well, that's what we're saying.
Yeah.
I think I mean, I understand that they want to be Amazon number 2, and I really think that's delusional, and they also want us to act as if we are big business, but we're just not. And surely there's way more small businesses on Amazon that outweigh these few huge businesses that are operating on there. And if they lose touch with us, I think they're just doing themselves a disservice, you know.
Yeah,
And people
completely.
will leave the platform. I think at the moment it's a bit of a vacuum beyond eBay where you could go, apart from Amazon, and a lot of stuff that we sell, certainly we can't sell on Amazon. So there isn't a great option. But let's say Facebook, who I think are the big threat, really pushed into the exchanging of goods market. They could really threaten eBay. And if eBay have alienated the sort of one-man band and the family businesses, that's where we'll all go if it works.
But then on the flip side of that, eBay have implemented lots of things where, I mean, a lot of people disagree, I suppose, but I think that eBay do have things in place that do protect you as a seller. Whereas on Facebook, you've got no comeback.
No, Facebook would have to really up their game and make it safe for both.
Yeah.
It's totally the wild west on Facebook at the minute. You can pretty much list anything and sell it, as we've all seen. So yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. It will be interesting to see how it evolves.
Yeah, but I think they definitely do want to be competing or on a level, at least on a par with the big online retailers such as ASOS or Very or something like that. So because that is becoming their online buying culture now, and they want to offer that same service and attract buyers to come onto eBay because they know that they get the same service they do with these other big retailers. Exactly. Forgetting that most of eBay, as you say, is made up of very small, homegrown businesses.
Yeah, I just want to read out Pivo. I hope I'm saying that right, mate. I don't know how it's pronounced. Is referring to when I was very positive in a video recently about eBay, and I did a video with Zahir about if you're new to eBay and if you want to get into eBay, and yeah, it was a very positive video about eBay. And I don't know if it was actually Pivo who was saying, I had a conversation with somebody who asked me how much was I paid to make that video singing eBay's praises. And the thing is, I love eBay. I always have done. I think it's an incredibly it's an amazing platform. It gives you access to one of the biggest markets in the world online.
Yeah.
You know, how else are you going to get that? Yes, they charge fees that some people don't like, and the platform isn't perfect, has a lot of issues, some of which we touched on tonight. But on the whole, yeah, I am positive about eBay. I don't think it's perfect. As you've seen tonight, there are things that I think eBay are doing wrong. It's heading in a direction I don't think is helpful to most of its sellers and most of its buyers, to be honest. So yeah, I mean, Pivo goes on to say pro eBay one day and anti eBay the next. Yeah. I'm not anti eBay. I love eBay with a passion, but I think they've got a few things wrong. Simple as that. Nothing's black and white, mate. You know. Well,
don't scroll up because I was going to read something.
Where have I gone too far?
Yes, I've gone too far.
So further up.
Yeah.
Okay.
And again. I was going to look at a comment from Barry.
Where further up?
I don't know. I don't know which way you went. It just disappeared.
Oh, Barry there.
Yeah, but that wasn't the comment.
Okay. That one?
No.
Well, it can't be down then. It's got to be up. Right, bear with. So much coming in. I can't. Wow, how far back is it? That one.
That one says that try on and return those that don't fit has always been going on with catalogues like Kay's, Grattan's, and Littlewoods. And I was going to say, yeah, I think you're right. It did, but I don't think that you could return them for free, because I remember my mum having catalogues and I don't remember being able to return things for free.
Don't know.
But I mean, maybe you could. But ASOS, being the leading online clothing business and company, I think they have really sort of set a standard now, haven't they? Even though, yeah, that, and also, they may have been doing that in the past.
The point, I think, is that those catalogues that you mentioned, their business model and how it worked had all of that built in. and they had crunched those numbers and said this works for us, and because they're operating on such a scale, and they had all of those systems in place, and it was very, you know, economical to run, you know, they had all of that sorted, so they knew that it made economic sense to them. But when you try and impose that sort of business model on us, for example, the numbers don't make sense.
Selling things out of our house.
So yeah, I think that's the
doesn't
difference.
make sense.
Okay. So okay, when I thought I said when I sued Next, when I used to work for Next, they were more than happy for customers to order 3 sizes. Yeah, so many people do that.
Yeah, but it's a different business model altogether.
Oh, here's an interesting one. Callum Tucker. I've been offering free returns. It happens. However, you get more sales due to higher search results. Small amount of returns offsets the cost. I also use my own postage labels, not eBay's. Well, that's interesting. This is the thing. It's all of this is conjecture, partly, and partly just opinion. It'd be interesting to know what you sell. Actually, is it do you do clothing, or is it bits and bobs? So I think it will make more difference, perhaps in clothing, certainly in maybe media, the really, really competitive markets. So the more unique one-off stuff, I mean, and I don't know, the consoles I've been selling recently, I don't think it'll make any difference whatsoever if I have free returns on stuff like that. You know, the item sells itself, not the services that are around it. Anyway. Oh, it's just jumped. Sorry. Karen needs a spanner so I can do live chats. Don't worry about it. Don't let it stop you doing them. There's always a couple of idiots, but don't let that stop you. Oh, blimey. Chris Dupas, the gamer. Did you go to university? Do you have a strong academic background? We both have degrees.
Yeah.
Which we've never used. But yeah, we went through all of that.
Yeah.
Question: do you guys have any pics of the old game shop that you can share? Would love to see. We did talk about this, didn't we?
Yeah, we did talk about doing another video that we could talk about it and share some pictures.
There is a video, I think it's called My Life in Reselling. So if you go, maybe if you'd search Nick Hill's Life in Reselling, I think that should bring up the video. Well, I do just show some of the pictures, and I talk about how and why we set up that shop, and all of the good times and bad times that we had through that, and how it led on to where we are now. But we're going to do another version of that, hopefully, if we can get time. Time is always the issue, so don't expect it to happen quick. But yeah. Right, let me scroll back down. Well, that was all my bullet points. How are we doing for time? Wow, it's nearly an hour already. That's crazy. So let's just dip in the chat.
Just scroll up slightly.
Yeah.
Pete's Retro Collectible says, if we have free returns, we will need to charge both ways postage built into prices, so our prices will have to go up a lot. Yeah, and see, my argument with that is people say you have to build in your postage, but you can't really raise your price because you have to keep competitive. So you still lose, is my argument.
Yeah, but if you've got postage, let's say you've got £2.99 on a dress, and you want to go free postage, take the postage off and then add £3 onto the item.
Yeah, but then I think
still the same
then
cost.
my dress is more expensive, and
yeah, but it's not. They're spending the same money.
Yeah, but I think psychologically people think that it is.
Yeah,
that's my argument. I think that somebody will look at it and psychologically, it's like the whole 99p thing. We have £2.99. It is less than £3. It's it's the whole psychological thing, isn't it? So I think that if you add £3 to your item price, then psychologically it will be more expensive to people.
Yeah.
Don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we've got. Well, my phone's going off in my pocket. I don't know if that's eBay. Hold on.
Yeah, it's just another water
Why
bottle.
is it muted?
Don't know.
I'm not getting ka-chings.
Yes, it is. You've got it switched off.
Oh, it does that in my pocket. This little button, it switches itself off. Should have had a ka-ching. I had another one before. Oh no, it's a message. Anyway, by the by, we didn't talk about our week actually.
Yeah.
We had a fantastic week. Last Sunday was a great day. We did £500 just on the Sunday. And then before we clicked over to Sunday, if you include last Sunday in the week, we were at, what did we get to? 22? No, that was with Amazon. We were at 2,200 with Amazon. And it's gone down now because it includes today, which has been pretty poor. Although it's a bit better now. I think we're at, I don't know where we're at today.
We're over 100.
Well, we are okay. Today's been okay.
It's been a good day. Yesterday was terrible.
Yeah,
Like
it's been
£30
super up and down.
Yeah.
I mean, you had that £200 coat sale, which was awesome, and
Yeah.
then I decided to kind of accept offers, or at least consider offers on the consoles. I was pricing them high and just being really, I don't want to sell these. I'll just keep them if they don't sell. And then I had to think about it. The fact that those consoles all came from that hall where the Atari cart came from, which that single Atari cart sale for 5,000 odd put us in profit on everything. I just kind of went, yeah, I don't need to be so waiting for the top dollar on these consoles. So I sold a fair number of those as well during the last week, which has really pushed the numbers up. Yeah, so it's been a good week. I've been busy. You can't see this. Oh, you might be able to see some here. These are all pin badges. I had a massive job lot of charity pin badges ages ago. I sold off most of them. And I found a box the other day of what was left, and I've been sorting them out. There's all these little Heart Foundation ones on here, which are quite nice. I'm going to job lot those together. And you noticed these earlier,
Yeah,
didn't
little
you?
Paddington ones.
Paddington, anything Paddington, now's the time. Because, of course, with the new movie coming out. There's some cool little Banana Man ones here.
Banana Man.
So, yeah, I've been sorting those out. This was nice as well. It's this Parachute Regiment, little pin badge. So, yeah, most I'm just going to bundle up because they're not really worth doing anything with. There's 1.5 kilos in there that are going to go as a job lot. So, yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Yes.
So, yeah. Did you have anything else to say about customer service before we
I don't know. Do you want to scroll
wrap it
down and
up?
see if anyone else has said anything? So I don't know. Do we want to sort of summarize what we've said?
Well, we'll do. There's a question there, quick. SSA 316. Hi, Nick and Andrea. Do you have any tips for starting international shipping? Are there any countries you avoid posting to? I use GSP, and for my own shipping, I only ever ship tracked. In which case, I wouldn't worry about where you're shipping it, because they're going to have to sign for it, and it's tracked. But GSP covers you anyway for worldwide. And I know it is more expensive for some things, like considerably more expensive. But on the other end of the scale, if you're sending heavier stuff, it's sometimes way cheaper for people to order stuff through GSP than you could ship it yourself. So look into both options. But yeah, I mean, when we used to do international shipping ourselves, we avoided sending to Portugal, Spain, and Italy. But that was when we weren't sending stuff tracked. And we just had a really bad run of stuff not turning up to those countries. But yeah, we only send international when we do our own shipping track now. Okay, I think that's it for questions. Well, Steve and Steph are in. Hi there.
Hi. Yeah, do you want to read their comment? It says, we get the same price locally on items we sell that we would on eBay. So no fees, no shippings, no returns, no hassles. They even allow payments on Facebook here without fees. We sell 99% local.
Yeah, their business model is fantastic. And we don't have all of the apps that you guys have, certainly not the same. We have similar ones. And it's not kind of up to the level it's in America now.
Yeah, it's
that
very
local
much in its
buy
infancy,
and sell,
isn't it?
but I would love to move into that. Yeah. And I want to thank you, while if you're still watching, for the donation you gave to our marathon fund last week. So thanks ever so much for that.
Yes, thank you.
I haven't looked where we're at on that for a while, actually, and
No, I haven't
I don't
either.
have a screen set up to share.
We
but
did go out for a walk today. We've actually had a couple of days off, haven't we? Thursday we were just shattered and we needed to get some work done, so we didn't. Friday you weren't feeling well. Saturday, which was yesterday, I was out with my dad and my brother all day. So we went out today. We had a really good walk, and Ellen came with us. And then my phone ran out of battery, so I couldn't even record it on my walk, which was really annoying.
Yeah. Yeah. So we actually bothered to go out, and it doesn't show up on
No.
our training. Okay. Right. I just saw a question somewhere. Will you take less? What apps do you use when scanning barcodes to see if something is worth buying? I only use the eBay app and the Amazon seller app. They work for me. Right, let me scroll down and see where we're at. Right.
Charlotte Woodley, who's also in the chat, has been asking lots of questions about starting up a business for next year. She just said, my dad said register as a sole trader rather than a business. Is that a good idea? I will still be working full-time in a supermarket. Yes, it's a good idea.
Well, a sole trader is effectively a business. It just means you doing it on your own. Yeah, that's the simplest.
We're registered as sole traders, aren't we?
As of this tax year, we will be 2 independent sole traders. We used to actually operate as a partnership, which is a different sort of legal entity, than a sole trader, but it's effectively the same. There's just 2 of us. But yeah, for VAT purposes, we are splitting our business in half. Yeah. Right. Are we going to wrap this up?
I guess so. Yeah.
Did you tune me out again?
I'm still reading the chat. I'm sorry.
Okay. Right. Yeah. Thanks for joining us. We've currently got 206 people still in, so thanks for sticking with us to the end. We really appreciate you taking your time out, especially on a Sunday evening.
Did we want to really very quickly summarize what we've said about customer service? That is just really important to give the best customer service that you can, really, and to always answer every question, be polite as you can be. And yeah, I mean, sometimes it's a pain when you have to accept returns, but accept them unless, well, even if there's a problem, you still have to accept them and then just deal with eBay. But yeah, just customer service is key. It brings back return business.
I think for me, what I wanted to point out in this video was, from our recent experiences on the other end as buyers, it really shows what a terrible experience it is when you don't get the level of service you expect. And as a seller, I try and give that level of service, and when I don't receive it, it's really disappointing. Yeah. And that sticks with me.
It does. So it reminds us that it's really important to always give that really good customer service.
Absolutely. Anyway, I hope people are saying beer time in there now.
Yeah, don't. We shouldn't really be drinking.
Adam says,
it's tempting me.
Adam says, like button smash. Yeah, if you do enjoy what we do, and you want to show that, hit the like button. I don't know where I was going with that.
I don't know what you were going with that.
If you're watching this after the event,
I have to say, it does really irritate me when people go, hit the like button and subscribe if you like it and all that business.
So here says that every week.
I know. Oh, wow. So here's different.
If you're watching this after the event and when the comment section is open, let me know some of the things you do to provide customer service, and let me know some of the exceptional examples of customer service you've had. I'll be really interested to know. Until Tuesday, we'll leave you there. I'll be back on Tuesday. It's on Zahir's channel?
Think so.
Think so. Yes. I can never remember.
Yes.
So join us for the chat if you can on Tuesday. Until then, thanks for joining us. We'll see you soon.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.
Bye.